This, if you're seeing this, this is a video. We'll say this is a video, kind of first look into DOS. We call it Dawn of Shinobi. In this is what you'll be stepping into. What is this? The second wipe of the game, right? This game has its own built, homemade infrastructure, right? Its own client, and it is a 2D D&D MMO RPG. And I know that sounds crazy when you say you want to combine all of those together. And I'm just going to go through a couple brief things to kind of show you what that looks like. There'll be other videos I'll make that are going to be on more deeper expansion on certain concepts, but I just want to kind of start with like the light stuff. So to start at the very beginning, let's start with the main story. The main story of this entire campaign is this is a 300 years after the first campaign, and all you need to know about the first campaign is the players, we mucked everything up. We did about the worst possible choices you could make. A lot of, I would say, just very reckless type decisions that led to the end of that world. And so all of Chakra itself was lost for like 300 years. Fast forward now, we now have a new wipe slash campaign that is based on what we did in the past, and we're going to find more about it. And if you're seeing this now, it's never too late to join. The story is always going to be open and evolving, and it's going to be such a great thing to jump into and really enjoy it. So let's start with, we're just gonna go down the list here to kind of let you know what you've got going on. So it's gonna be computer based, where you can use your left and right arrow keys to move your token, things like that. Tokens also have profiles, right? These, so what you would do, like if I want to look at a different person's profile, I would click this, and it would show me their profile. And you can click, and I can see their gear, their equipment, all that good stuff, or whatever. And again, we have gear and things of that nature. Again, I would be able to. No, so again, let's again, for your own self, character. I can see my profile. I can see my techniques. I can see perks, all that good stuff. Cool. All right, so let's go to techniques real fast. Again, let's look at kind of get a closer look at what this looks like, right? So in techniques, we have our filter. This is all the different various techniques in the game. Got Aburame, Akakamichi, Uchiha, Hyuga. I mean, we go through it. You guys know. If you understand the series, you'll know. So Hyuga, right? Here, these are Hyuga techniques, right? And I want you to keep in mind, you see this letter beside that says D. This game has its own ranking system that is basically based off of, the show and everything. In that, you rank up as you play the game, as you do specific things. So right now, everybody in the game is D rank. We'll be having our first tunings on the week this week, actually on the 9th. They start today. Some people will go up to C rank, and so they'll be able to get C rank perks, C rank techniques, and things of that nature. And the people who don't, they'll get another chance next month. I'll probably be one of those people because I'm not stepping foot anywhere near the first tuning exams because it's going to be very competitive. So I have no intent of doing that. So we go to perks, and we'll see perks. Perks has its own thing as well. You'll see perks here. We can see all the various different perks, and these affect your character. They can affect your character in combat, or they can affect your character out of combat. Like this would give me access to sensing, and sensing can help me out of combat with role play type situations and things of that nature. We have village buffs here. These are just bonuses that your village can basically have for the week. And currently we have only 3 villages. We had 4, but the 4th one got blown up by 2 Biju bombs, who just kind of icy happens. Character story happens. 2 Jinchuriki lost control, and we had 2 Biju bombs blow up all of Cloud. So Cloud no longer exists. That's just how that works. So now it's Leaf Mist and just sand. Until somebody decides to rebuild Cloud. Here's the world map where you can see all the fun things on the map, all these different things. And these are places you can travel to, by the way. You can travel however you'd like. The only thing to keep in mind about travel is travel will cost you something based on your roll. You'll roll for your travel roll. And based on how high or low you go, you'll take something called fatigue. And the important thing about fatigue is if you take 10 stacks of fatigue, you will immediately be doing DSRs. Best 2 out of 3, hit on 1, you automatically die. Hit a 20, you automatically pass, right? And DSRs are based on fatigue level 2, but since you hit 10, you'll be doing DSR 10. So 10 to pass or above to pass. Okay. This is where you buy things. This is the XP shop, right? The same rest of you can also buy perks without going to the XP shop, right? You can just click on here and just click on like, oh, I want to buy this, and you'll hit purchase, yada yada yada. But for the XP shop, you have to do it for techniques. They haven't set it up where techniques can be bought in different ways. So you can see all the different various techniques you can buy through here. And keep in mind, one of the reasons why you can't buy, you see, I can only buy Hyuga and I can't buy Aburame is because I'm not an Aburame clan member. If I was, I would have access to be able to go to Aburame and click on this and buy it. But see, it says I'm not qualified to purchase this perk because I wasn't born Aburame. So that's that. XP Shop Handbook. This is an important, fun thing you should do. Again, this is not going to be too... Like, you're not going to need to go through this whole thing, right? Again, I'm going to make videos that are kind of break this thing down so that you don't have to kind of go through this whole thing and deal with all this nonsense, right? But this is a handbook. This has got various things in there. It's got a lot of chapters and different things, uniques, all this good stuff. We're going to go through all that eventually over time. This is going to be a video series, don't worry. But the first part of this, I just want this to be kind of just giving you a general guideline of how this works, basically. We have the mission board here. Okay, well, this is going to bring up something else. I'm not doing that, so we're not worried about that. But that'll bring a link to missions. And in missions, I'll be able to see the mission board, and we'll be able to go from there, right? Okay. This is the map. Again, this puts you back on the main map where I can see this. This is, again, we've already gone through my character. Toolbox. This is where I just do helpful tools. Like, maybe I need to use a dice roll to roll something. Like, let's say the DM says, roll a luck roll. Right? Okay, so I would go here, I'd select luck, and I hit roll. And it's going to roll luck. And that would be not the greatest luck roll, to be honest with you. But it wouldn't be the worst, because it would be a nat 1, so that's where everything goes to, you know. This allows me to post perks to chat. Let's say I want to post a Senju perk, or not Senju, a Hyuga perk, right? I can go here, and I can post this. I can also post techniques. And again, if I'm in combat, I'm not going to need to do all this, right? Usually. But this is just like showing the systems, right? So I can post techniques. And when I hover over them, look, it shows exactly what they do. I could post stats. Like I post my clan, right? This would show what clan I am. I could post items. And items have effects. I can consume... You don't do this. You don't need to do this. Don't worry about this one. This one's something that you're not going to need to know as a new player. Don't mess with this. You'll mess something up. I can hit this to AFK, right? I can hit this to un-AFK. Apply injury. If you get hurt in battle, you'll come to this. I don't know what Drain Tool is, actually. Pick a character. Combat Engage. I can declare Combat Engage, right? And this locks down the whole scene. You know, this lets the admin know they need to come and yada, yada, yada. I can scene lock. You know, right? Don't worry about this one. This is another day. If I have healing, I can open the healing tool and heal somebody. And I do have healing, so I actually can do that. And then shackle, I don't have this because I'm not a... You need to be a specific role to shackle. It's a role in game. But anyway, okay. So that's that. Now let's move over to... What does a fight look like? I'm going to give you a brief look at what a fight looks like, just so you can kind of get an idea of how it goes. So we'll see start combat. We'll do, and these are all concepts that we'll deal with later. Don't worry about them for right now. This is just trying to get you that first look at what the game looks like. So I would propose a fight, and the game will load. It will come to a brand new screen, and it will show weather. Weather adds a little RNG to the game. And it shows that medical genjutsu +1, buki -1, fuin -1, right? So that's just that. And then also along with that, these are all the jutsu and things I know. So let's say I'm going first. So I would select Byakugan. I'd select the perks that go with Byakugan just so I can get the... Okay, I would select myself, right? He's already trying to like do stuff to show off a real spar. I'm like, we're not doing that. So he on his side, he's gonna hit no react. And what that's gonna do in my stats is it's gonna immediately buff my AC by 3. And then at that point, I could do something like I could do something like, this is what a technique would look like. Let's say I throw this one at him, buff it up a little bit, and I will roll for this attack. And you can see the text on the attack, the damage, the saving throw, yeah, all that good stuff. And boom, this attacks him. And then when that's done, I would simply just end my turn. And there's a lot more to combat, obviously. There's HP, there's chakra, you have movement speed, all these different things. But this is just kind of getting you a look of what it looks like. Combat is fully automated, so you don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff, basically. And I would just end my turn, and then my opponent would go, and he would do whatever he wanted to do on his turn. And also, you can move your character, you know, all around, you know, based off your movement speed and stuff like that. And so my opponent would go, and he would do his thing. And then, let me see where we are with this video. We are getting near the end, because I only want this to be 10 minutes. So, and when you want the spar to end, you would just hit end spar. So I would end the spar here. And I think that gives you kind of just a little taste into what. So let me go through a couple more things real fast before we end this whole thing. Let's talk about the actual DM. How does that work? The way that works is Monday, Wednesday, and I'm going to set this back a little bit. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are going to be the primary, actually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday are going to be the primary DM days. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are typically going to be the main DM, and then Saturday will be the side DM, okay? Also, there is technically another side DM that does things sometimes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but when that happens, you'll kind of know. There's a schedule on the Discord that will show you all of that stuff that you'll be able to see. And we'll kind of go through the Discord. I'll make a video on how to go through the Discord, I think, at some point too. But just to give you an idea of how that goes, when you're on stream, what you're going to do is your character has already been made. You'll go to the actual Twitch stream where it's streaming on, and then you'll type !join. So you'll type something like this in the Twitch stream. And it will immediately let you join the stream as a turn. And then when the DM says, oh, your turn has been called, right? Because it'll show a little flash like, hey, your turn's been pulled. You'll be able to go up to NPCs and do specific things, or maybe there'll be missions that you have to do, all these types of things. It just all depends. But it's when your turn gets pulled, or whoever's with you, turn gets pulled, you know, for a group turn, however you guys want to do it or whatever. And the story flows through that. A lot of the story flows through the streams, but there's story that can happen outside the streams. Like, if your entire team goes and does a mission and, you know, gets something, you know, and brings back A or B, like some kind of resource, and you decide that you want that resource and you want to fight your team for it, you know, you can do that. And you don't have to wait on stream for that. You can do that outside of stream. So, sorry about the sneeze. I hope that kind of gives some context to it, and I hope that maybe this gives you a little bit of idea. This is not West Marches. I get that a lot. This is not a West Marches type thing. This is a fully functional, again, MMO conceptual, but also RPG conceptual, where, you know, you rank up, you level up, you get stronger. When you go in combat and fight people, you get something called combat expertise. I should have gone through this too. Combat expertise, which allows these stars to build up over time. And what these stars do is they give you XP, and they also give, oh my god, I missed this too. I should have gone over this. They give you XP, and they give you cap. So something this game has a cap, where you can only spend up a certain amount of XP at a certain point. The cap can be raised through combat. The cap can also be raised through doing specific things. And that allows you to be able to buy the perks and techniques that you saw over there. Along with that, actually, I think we're good. Yeah, and also there's an activity thing where if you do at least 10 role plays every basically 19-20 hours, you'll get you'll get 1 point out of 5. And once you get 5 points, you'll get 5 bonus artisan experience, which artisan experience is for the artisan tree. That's basically the gathering and crafting tree. And we'll do a video on that and talk about that later. But that kind of gives you a gist of what you need to know. Again, you've got health, chakra. This is your weapon supply, movement speed, all these different things. We'll go through all this stuff later. This is just the base generals. Just give you an idea of what the game is. Okay, you guys have a good day. And I'll see you in video 2, where we'll probably talk about, I think, gathering and crafting for sure.